Hello, I'm Carolyn Black-Sotier, and welcome to Kaleidoscope, your guide to the arts in Harford County. The arts unify communities, and here on Kaleidoscope, we keep you up to date on the county art scene, highlighting local artists and organizers who are working to bring all of us together, making Harford County a better place to live and thrive. So, let's get started. Upper Chesapeake Bay Pride works to bring lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer individuals together with allies to raise awareness and educate the community on issues important to the LGBTQIA+ community. With me to tell us all about the exciting 5th annual Upper Chesapeake Bay Pride Festival is Kurt Doan, president of the Upper Chesapeake Bay Pride. Good to see you.
You too.
And we won't talk about it now, but you and I have a lot in common because we grew up in Lancaster County.
Yes.
So we've been talking food and shoe-fly pies, but we're going to talk about more important things now.
Perfect.
Let's first of all, before we talk about the festival, can you talk a little bit about the mission of your organization and how that connects to the festival?
Absolutely. So our mission is to provide unwavering support for the LGBTQIA people and communities of Harford and Cecil County. Mm-hmm. And originally, we were just charged with offering this beautiful festival, which we do every year in Havre de Grace at Concord Point Lighthouse Park. And since that time, we've gone on to expand and offer other educational programming and scholarship opportunities for local folks to our 2 community colleges in the region.
Well, I think it's amazing all that your organization has accomplished in such a short amount of time. You started in 2019. Yes. Let's focus a little bit on the festival. Yeah. So this is a big deal. It's a lot of fun for people. It brings the community together. Yes. Can you give us some details?
Absolutely. So this year's festival is going to be on Saturday, October 7th from 2 to 6 p.m. in Havre de Grace. We typically see about 4,000 to 5,000 people come out and join us. It's a great afternoon of family-friendly fun and entertainment. About 100 exhibitors will join us as well. So it's everybody from local artists to retailers and folks who just want to share information with the community. Okay,
so and you said you're going to have 100 artists, but you're looking to even have more, right? They're really key to part of the success of this festival.
Absolutely. We do a survey after every festival and ask the folks who came, what did you love about the festival? What can we do better next year? And last year, loud and clear, we got the message that people want to see more artists. And we're excited this year to be extending messages out to the community to see if we can increase the number of artists.
Okay, and I think it's a super opportunity for local artists who maybe haven't had quite the courage or the wherewithal to say, you know, I'm gonna exhibit my wares. So you're encouraging first timers.
Absolutely, yes. I think we are a fun, low risk festival. We offer a 10 by 10 booth plot for folks to come out and set up a table and just showcase what they've been working on.
That's exciting. It's not very expensive, so they can get all the details. What I kind of love also that you did is you came up with a logo, but you also encouraged artists locally to be a part of that. Can you tell me about that process?
Yeah, so we have our standard logo that we use for everything, but every year we come up with a festival logo. And that's usually something that we've done internally. And this year we put a call out to artists and said, we'd love to see what your rendition of our logo theme would be. And this year it's Pride by the Tide. And we've already had a number of submissions from local artists. And you know, I mentioned to you before we started taping here that we don't have much of a budget. So one of the things that we offered was space on our website as a featured artist for the year.
Pretty good.
Yes, and also a booth at the festival. So our hope is that we can walk away with a really nice collaboration with a local artist this year.
That's terrific. So if artists want to get involved or get in touch with you, get involved with this, what's the best way to do that?
So if they follow us on social media or go to our website, there's a lot of opportunities to reach out and connect with us.
Okay, now we've talked a lot about visual artists and exhibitors, but what about music? Because you know, music is my wheelhouse. What are you doing as far as musical entertainment?
So we have 4 pretty much solid hours of musical and drag entertainment happening that day. We do a little bit of keynote stuff at the beginning, but then we just open it up for local bands and performers.
Terrific. And the MCs are a lot of fun, are they not?
They are, yes. We always get fabulous drag performers who serve as our MCs, so we're excited about that.
Yeah. So you've been involved with the organization for a while. You mentioned that you do some other things, which I'm impressed with. Can you give me more specifics about the scholarships, about some of that other work that your organization is supporting?
Absolutely. After the first couple years of the festival, we started looking more holistically at what the needs of the community were and looking at educational programming and social programming that we can offer to the community. So we do game days, we'll do coffee meetups, happy hours, opportunities for parents to connect and just talk about whatever they're thinking about. And then, of course, the scholarships. We sponsored 2 $500 scholarships, one to Hartford Community College and one to Cecil College. And the idea is that we know that is not going to put a big dent in a tuition bill, but just helping LGBTQIA learners get back into school and pursue their dreams through education.
Okay, and so it takes a village and more to make all of this happen. So I know that the Hartford County Cultural Arts Board has been a great partner with all of you, but I'm sure you would encourage other folks to join.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Yeah, yeah. And tell me, what do you think is the what can I say, the status of your community right now in Hartford County? It seems to be thriving. Your festivals seem to get bigger every year. Your work.
Yeah, I think we are still trying to understand the size and composition of the community. I think when you live in a rural setting and you identify as a member of the LGBTQIA community, sometimes you're not very public about that, and it makes it hard to connect with folks.
Okay.
So one of the things that we're working on right now is a community needs assessment that we can get out into the community and just figure out who's living in the county and what do they need from us as an organization or from a partner organization.
Okay. So what I'd like to do, because we've talked about a lot, is put up one more time the actual date, time, and place for the festival. Again, that is
Saturday, October 7th from 2 to 6 p.m. at Concord Point Lighthouse Park in Havre de Grace.
Okay.
Beautiful setting.
Yeah, and it's a fun time. And there's your website. So if people want to find out more about the festival, because we didn't give any specifics about the musical entertainment, you got to go and see it. But also, if you want to get involved in some of the other programs that you're doing, they can just go online.
Absolutely.
And do that as well. And if you had to say, maybe you've already said this, but the biggest challenge that you're facing right now in Hartford County and how people could get involved to make those challenges go away or not as challenging, what would be your sense on that?
I think there is a lot of national discussion around LGBTQIA plus issues right now.
Right.
And we hear a lot of extreme viewpoints, and I think what's really helpful is just having people from the middle of the road getting together and talking about these issues and trying to figure out how we can best just support especially our kids in the school system.
Sure.
I feel like that is one of the top issues that we're facing at the moment.
Well, that's a good solution to almost all the things going on in the world right now, right? It's a pretty divisive time.
It is.
And as you said, just people who are thoughtful, kind of in the middle, coming together and trying to make things better. Wonderful to meet you.
You too, thank you.
And thanks so much for all the good work, Kurt, that you're doing.
Thank you, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Sure. Okay, Leigh Targaryen has been dancing since the age of 3. Today, she's not only an accomplished dancer, but a choreographer, a teacher, clothing and costume designer, actor, and director. We were excited to catch up with her recently, so get ready to be inspired as we shine a light on Leigh Targaryen.
Dance can be a way of communication. There's a lot of people out there that aren't very good at vocalizing what it is that they're feeling inside, and dance is a way for them to be able to get those feelings out. I studied dance therapy, and that was one of the biggest things is that, if you're feeling something inside and you don't know how to get it out, through talking, you can use movement to help yourself get through that emotion or that feeling. And when you're dancing, you can start to discover where you're going with life. You can follow this pathway, and you'll find that the dance is just it's moving you through that.
Country tom, tom leve, country tom leve, and then you go 1, 2.
When I go to the fabric store and I'm looking at the different fabrics that I want to use in costuming or the things I'm making, I want it to be soft. I want it to be comfortable. I want it to be able to move. So when I'm feeling fabrics, I want it to be something that has the same element of feel that I want the costume to look like, I guess. So like it needs to fit a feel and a look as opposed to it just being a look. I think one of the coolest things about being able to make my own costumes is that I can, you know, do what I want with it. Like there's less limitations because I can think about what it is the costume can do and then what it is that I can do, and I can make it so that we can do it together. When you're looking at a costume from a catalog, you can kind of see how it might fit into what it is that you're envisioning. But if I'm able to create the look from head to toe, like I know that that's going to be the character that I wanted that character to be. It's how I envisioned it. They're going to move the way that I thought they were going to move. They're going to be wearing what I thought that they were going to be wearing. If you're drawing from something that someone else made, then it's not your vision 100%. Dancing in a costume that I have made is a really unique feeling because it's something that I put a lot of love and effort into, and then I'm also putting a lot of love and effort into the dancing that I'm doing. So it's like this really cool connection between the two. It's surreal seeing my students grow from these little itty bitty beans to these amazing dancers. And I don't have any children of my own, but I see a little piece of myself in those dancers. I see little sparks of inspiration and like certain movements that they'll do or things that they do in class. I'll see like some way I've influenced them in a positive way, and just seeing them grow and become these wonderful people. And not all of them grow off to be dancers, you know, they go off, and I've had, you know, some of them are doctors and lawyers and politicians, but you can still see them when they're presenting themselves. There's still that movement, there's still that element of dance in them. Like, you know, dance gives them confidence. It gives them an ability to be themselves in a way that I think other people don't. So, you know, just seeing them blossom is just really rewarding to me.
Look for a special Shine a Light feature during every Kaleidoscope program. When we return, Derek Pentz, also known as Zenobia Darling, will be here to tell us all about the thriving new art scene in Havre de Grace. Stay tuned. The Harford 250 celebration continues, and now it's time to start piecing together Harford's history. Artist Lisa Skarbeth is creating a large-scale mosaic public art project using items collected from the people of Harford County. Want to participate? Choose a small item, maybe costume jewelry or a piece of pottery, and make sure it is smaller than your fist. Next, write a few words to explain the significance of the item, and then donate your contribution at any Harford County Public Library branch by October 1st. The art will be unveiled next spring and installed at Bynum Run Park for all to enjoy. Arts Across Harford is 16 days of celebrating our vibrant arts community, September 15th to the 30th. Find participating events at visitharford.com. Havre de Grace has long been recognized as the cultural arts center of the Upper Chesapeake Bay region, so it's the perfect location for our next guest to call home. Joining me on the program is multi-talented Derek Pentz, also known as Zenobia Darling, an artist, writer, podcaster, stand-up comic, and drag performer. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me. And you said it right, like Zenobia Darling. Like
Okay.
you had like the accent right. I
Okay,
loved
and
it.
I've got to ask you, well, maybe this is a later question, but would love to know the origin of your name, Zenobia.
Okay,
Darling.
so I'm very big into Andy Warhol, the Warholian drag superstars. There was
Yes.
one named Candy Darling from the 70s.
Okay.
She was in like not female trouble. What is it? The Chelsea Girls.
Okay.
And she was like she was a trans person, very big in that scene, and I've always idolized her, so it comes from that. Plus there's like the Ab Fab, Absolutely Fabulous with Jennifer Saunders.
Yeah.
She would always be like, darling, and I was like, I love that. Because I just want to be like Madonna, like just Zenobia, but I have the darling because I'm like, I'm not that big yet.
Okay. All right. So you hail from Harford County, right?
Yes, born and raised in Havre de Grace. So my dad's in the fire company, about as Havre de Grace as they come. So I always say, my mom's side of the family has been there for 100 years. So again, Havre de Grace, if they come, it's in my blood.
Yeah.
And I kind of have always had this eye for pop culture. I always knew I wanted to perform, do drag performing, I've always known that there was a character inside me that needed to be on stage and that I had to go to LA, go to DC, go other places to do it. So,
Yeah.
And I still have my art studio there. So I still like to come
you
back
do?
and
Okay.
paint here and create and just be a creative contributing to the community.
Now, your theatrical training comes from Towson,
Yes,
right?
I'm a Tiger, so I went there for theater. So, and that's where I got a lot of like the stand-up training. I was a solo performer there. I have dyslexia, so I'm not really good at learning lines, but I'm really good at improv acting.
Okay.
And I did a whole bunch of like costume design too,
Oh
which
my
is
goodness.
all drag. So I have the full package with it.
Okay.
So-
And then to add on to that, you are a visual artist as well.
Oh yeah, I learned how to paint doing like Bob Ross oil paintings and that traditional
really?
bucolic landscape,
Yeah.
like Harford County art. I grew up doing that, and then I got into graffiti, and now it's like I choose to do more neo-expressionism and graffiti, but I'm bringing back into it all that like tradition. So.
Okay. So, all right. So we just saw you painting along the Susquehanna, and then that was
Yes.
the result of it,
So
correct?
that is the Northeast Corridor, Amtrak's Northeast Corridor bridge. I like to focus on graffiti. I got told that graffiti has no place in a fine art gallery. So I kind of subvertly put it in there. And then there I am actually in plein air painting, or not so much in the plein air, but I was in this Gallery 220 at First Friday painting something. So.
Okay. Now, you also paint in drag.
Yes, I've done that at the Upper Chesapeake Bay Pride Festival.
Okay.
And kind of when I paint, it's a performance, and kind of that's how I view painting. So the act of painting is theater that I can incorporate her into. So.
Oh, interesting. So you just bring it all
Oh
together.
yeah. And I kind of marry it all together in my own interesting way and throw glitter on it and have fun.
You have a little glitter on.
Oh,
today.
just a little bit. So and sequins.
Okay, let's talk a little. We're going to talk more about you because I think you're fascinating. But let's talk about the new art scene
Yes.
with Gallery 220 and how you're involved in that.
So Katie No took over as the creative director from Rebecca Jessup. She's amazing, and she moved on. But Katie took over, and I know Katie through the States Theater of Havre de Grace. So she's affiliated with that with her husband Jared, and I do my podcast at the State Theater. And when she took over that job, I kept telling her like I want my artwork, I want to focus more, and they opened up Gallery 220 where Artist Emporium was, and they want to focus more on a not so much commercial art gallery, but an art gallery that we would see in like larger cities that people like my age would be going to these larger cities to have. I mean to see, but in Havre de Grace. So we do a lot of more of like. It's very up and coming. So you have like me, another artist named Liz Lawson, Colin Cessna is another artist. So it's like the three of us are there, just like doing it, and we're kind of like the new generation of artists. So
Interesting.
Ezra Berger, the painter, kind of gave us their stamp of approval that we're like the next generation. So I kind of took it and run with it.
And you were telling me before we came on air that you know, when you first started all of this, you'd have to go like to DC or you'd have to go to LA. And now it's so nice to be able to do some of your artwork right here.
Yes, and I can do drag here, and I can paint, and I just like being in nature painting and just kind of like doing all that stuff. So.
Okay, now tell me about hashtag #RockstarLife, the art blog on Zenobia.
Okay, so hashtag #RockstarLife is my book series, but the art blog in particular is kind of like, I talk about me painting in Harford County. So it's me out in nature or out like at Susquehanna State Park or along the Susquehanna and Havre de Grace.
Yeah.
And I'm painting about it, I'm talking about it. I'm talking about different art movements. It's very much like I'm in the process of going to grad school, and it's kind of like the start of all that like artistic research. So.
Okay, interesting. Gosh, your energy is pretty impressive.
Yes.
All right, I want to talk about drag performing because it's in the news a lot right now. So you're a drag performer. Tell me a little bit about it. Why does it inspire you? Why do it?
It's total freedom. It's, you know, it's been politicized, but it's acting like it's this new art form. It's stereotypically a queer art form, which I think is where the politicization comes from.
Right.
But drag is how you present to the world. So people have been entertained by drag all their life.
For centuries.
For centuries.
Yeah.
It dates back to, I mean, the beginning of time. And we've always had people that play characters. So it's kind of, it's total freedom. Like when I'm Zenobia, it's all fun and games. It's feel good, endorphins flowing. So, and this is a good time.
And then you said there's a little boy behind Zenobia too.
I created Zenobia when I was kind of doing some like trauma therapy with her, and I invented her, and then I kind of like took it and ran with it. And if it wasn't for Zenobia, I wouldn't be here because like I've healed a lot of my trauma through her. So that's something that I don't think people realize.
No, I think you're right.
It's most drag performers have had harder lives than people want to acknowledge.
Right.
And drag's how they've survived it.
And how they work through it all.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay,
and if you're depressed, go to a drag show because it's instant feel-good emotions and endorphins.
Yeah, okay. So just tell me about some of your upcoming events because you sound really busy because I know you've got like art exhibitions, the podcast, the drag show.
So my podcast's coming out, #RockstarLife Coffee Break, totally from Zenobia. That's coming out the fall.
Okay.
I'm curating the Art of Drag exhibition at Gallery 220.
Okay.
So it's focusing on the art of drag, the behind the scenes look. I'm actually filming something shortly at a drag show with it. So it's going to be a very big art show, and it's something that you're used to seeing in like LA or New York or that type of art thing. And then I have a modern cave art exhibition or installation exhibition going in at Gallery 220 now that is curated by my friend Liz. So.
Okay, so there are really two big events then that we can
and totally different art, but still me being the creativeness that I am.
And if you have any messages to folks out there who want to understand your art form better or who are doing your art form, do you have a message? Can they get in touch with you?
Go to ZenobiaDarlingCreative.com. Okay. So there's a way to contact me. My email address is on there. So follow me on social media, all that stuff, read the art blog, and just, feel free. If you see me on the street, come and say hi. Like, I'm friendly. So I still have that, like, Havre de Grace, like, friendliness. So.
And you're friendly, and you're finding that Havre de Grace is a community that's also embracing. I know the Cultural Arts Board has been pretty supportive of,
they sponsor my art blog, and they've been very supportive to me and a lot of other drag performers that are from Harford County that are now starting to shine.
Well, terrific. I've enjoyed talking with you so much, Derek. Thanks so much for being here. Good luck with all the work that you're doing. It's pretty exciting.
Yes.
Okay. There's more to come on Kaleidoscope, so don't go away. We'll be right back. The Bel Air Festival for the Arts will be held on Sunday, September 17th, 9 to 5 at Shamrock Park. The 60th annual Haverty Grace Art Show will be held on Saturday, September 30th, 10 to 5 at Concord Point and Tidings Parks. The inaugural Maryland Italian Festival, presented by the Society of Italian American Businessmen, will be hosted at the Harford County Equestrian Center in Bel Air from September 29th to October 1st. Welcome back to Kaleidoscope. As the government-appointed local arts agency, the Harford County Cultural Arts Board is the primary local resource for arts organizations, for artists, and for you, our county residents. The board's mission is to preserve, enhance, and promote the culture of Harford County, Maryland. The Harford County Cultural Arts Board recently announced plans for this coming year's Community Arts Development Grants. $85,000 will be awarded to 12 Harford County arts organizations to support their operations, and an additional $43,000 awarded to 11 arts programs presented by nonprofits and colleges. Congratulations to the grantees. If you're interested in applying for fiscal year 25 funds, mark your calendars for early 2024 when applications will be released. Grants are made possible by the Maryland State Arts Council. Once the contracts are signed, a full list of grantees will be published on culturalartsboard.org. The Harford County Cultural Arts Board also has arts and education grants available to support high-quality arts experiences for underserved populations of any age in Harford County. Applications for arts and education grants are accepted on a rolling basis and are reviewed quarterly. The next deadline is October 15th. Apply now or contact the Harford County Cultural Arts Board to learn more. The Cultural Arts Board provides services for artists throughout the year, including workshops, events, and promotional opportunities. Back in June, they hosted their first quarterly arts gathering. Theater and dance artists came together for networking and fun at Harford Vineyard and Winery. Next up, an event for visual and literary artists. Writers and 2D and 3D creators are invited to Hopkins Farm Brewery on September 7th from 5 to 7 p.m. Light refreshments will be provided, including non-alcoholic beverages. And make note, your first beer is on us. Don't miss this special event to connect members of our creative community with each other and the Harford County Cultural Arts Board. And speaking of visual artists, Harford County's galleries have exciting exhibits on display year-round, and here are a few to see this summer. Arts by the Bay will host Wings and Things with featured artist Jelana Burgess. The opening reception is August 25th. Gallery 220 in Haverty Grace hosts Open to Truth and Change with the closing reception September 17th. ARC Northern Chesapeake Region hosts a one-day event highlighting the talents of people with differing abilities at their annual Sprout Film and Art Festival on September 19th. The Harford 100-Mile Biennial Exhibition will be at Harford Community College's Chesapeake Gallery. The closing reception is September 21st. And Harford Artists Gallery in Bel Air brings us the art of summer all summer long. And lastly, Harford TV is thrilled to share that our Kaleidoscope program, produced in sponsorship with the Harford County Cultural Arts Board, is a Telly Awards winner again. Our special segment featuring ceramic artist Paul Lyon won 2 Tellys, a silver in videography, cinematography, and a bronze in directing. A big thank you to producer Jessica Cleaver and videographer and editor Tommy Duncan. And that wraps up today's program. Thank you for watching Kaleidoscope, produced in partnership with the Cultural Arts Board of Harford County and aired exclusively on Harford TV. We hope you'll continue to tune in to Harford County's Arts Connection. For Kaleidoscope, I'm Carolyn Black-Sotier.